Hello and welcome to the latest Lukozer retro game review video. And this one is, well, what is widely regarded as one of the definitive classics of the Amiga. This is Stunt Car Racer, programmed by Jeff Crummond, who also did a nigh on miraculous conversion of this game for Commodore 64. This is quite an early Amiga game. I can't remember exactly when it came out. I think it was about 88, maybe 89, and yeah, this is one of what I think is a surprisingly small number of Amiga games that deserves the classic status that it's got. When you compare the Amiga to the 64, the Amiga didn't really have anywhere near as many genuine classic games for it. The 64 had plenty. I mean, the Amiga did have a fair few, but certainly nothing like as many as the 64 had. But this is certainly one of them. So with this one, you have the option of the single player, you have multiplayer, which is just the hot seat racing, or there is the computer link option, where you could link your Amiga to another Amiga or an Atari ST and race each other then. Annoyingly, that was the only time you were able to race against another player simultaneously. But it did work. This is one game that I used to play with a friend of mine quite often. So let's get the game underway. So we start in Division 4 with Jumping Jack and Roadhog. There is promotion and relegation at the end of each season. Each season doesn't last very long. You basically race each opponent on the two tracks. So it's only 4 races. So there's a good chance that, well, whoever's in Division 3 at the moment, that will change because one of us will be promoted, ideally me. Along with that, one of the people currently in Division 3 will also be promoted to Division 2. So by the time I get there, only one of those 3 will still be there. If memory serves, it's usually Bully Boy. He usually hangs around in the lower divisions. So anyway, enough of that, cobblers. Right, so we are in Division 4, which means we have a choice of just the 2 tracks. If we select the practice, I'm not actually going to do a practice run, I'm going to jump straight into a race. But you can see here we have the little ramp and the humpback. In Division 3, the tracks are the stepping stones, which is probably the most awkward track there is. It looks easy, but it isn't. Let's put it that way. And then you have the big ramp, which is exactly as you imagine. Division 2 tracks are the high jump and the roller coaster. They are probably my 2 favourite tracks. And then in Division 1, I think it's the ski jump and and the drawbridge. The drawbridge track, the bridge itself is constantly moving, and if you get there at the wrong time, you are going to take one hell of a bloody hit. Anyway, right, let's get this race underway then. So we are racing Jumping Jack on the little ramp. So at the start of the race you get a view of the circuit. If you use the left and right steer, you get to see it at various angles. So as you can see, well, you can quite clearly see where it gets the name from. If you're thinking that that ramp is not so little, well, believe me, compared to the other tracks, it is. So we get wheeled into place, so you can see that this the track itself is raised off the ground, so you need to stay on track, or try to stay on track. And it's all filled in vector graphics, which the Amiga does quite well. Now you have a limited number of, or a limited amount of boost, which is what I was using. That's when the flames are shooting out the exhaust pipe there. If you look at the status panel where it says L1, which is simply the lap I'm on, B27 is the amount of boost I have, so I have 27 of it. And the number below it, which is currently minus 150 something and decreasing because I'm not going all that quickly, that's how many car lengths you are ahead of the opponent. I think it's car lengths. On the other side it's just the usual, you know, your lap time. I think it also shows your total race time, but that's about it. Now across the top, notice there's this crack appearing. That's your damage meter. If it gets all the way to the other side, then your car is wrecked, and that's game over. As you can see, because I totally ballsed up that jump there, I took it far too quickly. I took a hell of a lot of damage. So get over that jump there. I didn't do too badly over that one. Now when you're racing, once you press up, the car will keep on accelerating. And likewise, if you pull down to brake, the car will continue to decelerate. So you can get away with... I thought I'd fuck that. So you don't have to keep holding the fire button up, which I like, because the one area that this game really does suffer is the sound. I don't like the sound effects at all, because they are very grating, and I used to hate it when people would play this game and keep the fire button held up, so they would do this every time they went over a jump. You had that going right through you, and I was always on the verge of knifing them through the throat. So we win that one, so it's not a particularly difficult race. So we get the graphic of us winning. And we have some new track records, the best time and the best lap by me, which is hardly surprising because I'm the only person who's played this so far. So because I won the race, I get 2 points for that, and because I got the best lap, I get a bonus point for that, so I got 3 points out of that one, which means that so far it's a 3-way tie. Now Roadhog and Jumping Jack Flash have already raced each other on both tracks, so the only races to go are them two racing me, and I've already got 3 points, so I should be getting promotion. Anyway, I'm taking on Jumping Jack again, this time on the Humpback, the second track of this division. It looks innocuous enough, but looks can be deceiving, and they frequently are in this game. So on with the review rather. Graphically, I think the game is great. I think the vector graphics work really well, and they are certainly fast. I mean, the other cars may look basic, but I mean, it's not really that important. The way that the game is laid out with your view from inside your cabin, I Oh, fucking hell, I thought I was off then. I'm doing the thing that I hate when other people do it. But yeah, I think the view from the cabin is fine. The game plays nice and fast. And you may think that the graphics are purely functional. I took a lot of damage because I ploughed through the other car, so there is a good possibility that I'm not going to make it through this race because I've taken so much damage already. So that's graphics done. Audio, I'm not keen on the audio. It does its job, but the sound of the engine revs really do grate. Oh, fuck that right up. I've taken a hell of a lot of damage now. And yeah, I've been overtaken. There's no music in the game anywhere, so and that's me off, and that means I've lost this race. If you do come off the racetrack, then you are pretty much out of it, because the other car carries on and going, and because it does take quite a while for you to be winched into place. You can see he's already, you know, over 1100 car lengths ahead of me, which means I've now got to be pretty got to take quite a few risks to try and catch up with him, which I'm not all that keen on, because you can see my damage meter is way over towards the far side. Yeah, that's not going to do me too many favours either. So I suspect, well, I've lost this race either way, whether it's from the fact that he crosses the line first, or whether it's because my damage meter goes too high. So it has been, yeah, there we go, race lost. It's been a long time since I last played this, and I think I've come off the track again, yeah. I took that way too quickly. Doesn't matter, I'd already lost, so that's the losing screen. No one's paying any attention to you, and you're sitting there sulking. But I did get a new track record, so I did get a point. So, but it hasn't been added for some reason. So maybe you only get the points for the track record if you actually win the race or something. I don't know. So, well, that's a couple of races anyway, a Stunt Car Racer. So, yeah, graphically I think it's great. Audio I'm not that keen on because it grates and goes right through me. And gameplay is fantastic. It's a really good racer. And it's still every bit as good today as it was when it came out. So, yeah, I have absolutely no hesitation in recommending it. I score it 9.5 out of 10. It would have got 10 out of 10 if the sounds were a bit better, but because they are so irritating in places, especially if you are watching somebody or playing against somebody who insists on keeping the throttle pressed forward, so you have that unbearable screeching going right through you all the time. But that's more a fault of them than the game, but, well, you know what I mean. But if it didn't have that, then I would definitely give it 10 out of 10. So it's only the sound that causes it to miss out there. So that is Stunt Car Racer, 9.5 out of 10. Deserving of its classic status. If you don't have this game, or if you never played it before, then I strongly suggest you do so. Right, there you go. That's this one done. So we will see you at the next one.